So today, we're in Kansas City. You can barely see it off my shoulder right over there. We're here to check out 4 things. 1, the real estate. 2, the awkward state line between Missouri and Kansas. 3, the barbecue. And 4, my personal favorite, the architecture. Let's go. Now, the last time I was in Kansas City, I actually had a tour guide to help me point out all the best real estate locations, but this time around, because of, well, COVID, I have to do this all on my own. Now, this may seem sacrilege to the locals, but in my real estate eyes, the entire cluster of the city of Kansas and Missouri are one and the same to me. And because of that, I'm going to be looking for places that are both on the Missouri and the Kansas side. Kansas City is a pretty large city, and with cities this big, there's no doubt that there's going to be microclusters of previously derelict neighborhoods that are now being revitalized 1 or 2 square blocks at a time. Much like all of real estate, it would take me several months to pinpoint these specific neighborhoods. Which reiterates my point that looking at real estate through the comfort of your own couch is not a really good way to pinpoint what is and isn't a good real estate investment. With real estate, you have to use all of your senses. You have to see it, feel it, smell it. Just, if there's mold, make sure to put on a respirator. So right now I'm going to quickly check something off of the to-do list. It is crossing state line, where right now I'm in Missouri, and as soon as I cross the street, I'm in Kansas. So this is state line. To the left is Kansas, and to the right is Missouri. All right, so we're actually going to have to pause right here because this is where everything just went completely sideways. And I don't want you to think that I got into any type of trouble. That's not the case at all. But this is the point where I just completely lost focus. I was going to walk across the street over to the Kansas side, and then I was going to walk back to the Missouri side and say something along the lines of, "We're not in Kansas anymore." Don't judge me. I thought it was cool, my channel. However, there was too much traffic. So I ended up getting into my car and driving up the street trying to see if there was another intersection where there was less traffic. And I ended up inadvertently driving into a very affluent neighborhood. And that's when I started drooling over the architecture and the beauty of these estates and completely lost track of time. I didn't end up recording any of it because I don't want to deal with any privacy issues. It is a very affluent neighborhood. Walking around with a camera in hand with a huge microphone on it, you stick out like a sore thumb. However, if you want to check out some of the nicest architecture in some of the nicest neighborhoods you have ever seen, you definitely have to take a deep dive into, hold up. I wasn't able to remember them off the top of my head. Country Lane Estates, Verona Hills, Verona Gardens, and Holbrook. Yes, please. Those are some of the nicest neighborhoods that I have ever seen, and I worked in the Beverly Hills area. Kansas City, good job. Now, I know that these particular estates existed, however, they were completely out of my price range, so I just kind of checked out. Anyway, back to the show. So these vlogs are actually twofold. It's to bring you folks along and inform you on the possibility of different cities that don't necessarily fall under the traditional narrative of good places to invest in real estate. Because if you read anything real estate related or watch any type of real estate TV show, they pretty much tell you that the only places to make money off of real estate is New York, Los Angeles, Miami. And given the high price of entry for those particular markets, it makes it seem like the average person can't get started investing in real estate. When there are some less than popular cities that are not only more affordable, they actually have way better ROIs. And reason number 2, selfishly for myself, to set my eyes on my next potential real estate goals. And because I really love traveling and I will use any excuse to get out of the house because I can't sit still for too long. So you already know the Alex Beltran secret sauce. Number one, travelability. You have interstates going in every direction, the 70, the 29, the 35, the 49. You have an international airport. It doesn't have the biggest selection of destinations, but you also have a lot of regional airports around Kansas City as well. And last but not least, very, very reasonable gas prices. Number two, attractions and career opportunities. Now, attractions are a little bit limited right now because of COVID. You have the Kemper Museum, you have the Nelson Atkins Museum, you have amazing jazz music, sports events, breweries, shopping, and last but not least, Kansas City barbecue, which I am super excited to go order. In terms of career opportunities, you have pretty much every sector, although limited in agriculture. You really have to go far outside of the city to be involved with agriculture, and there are no major military bases, but the huge selection and career opportunities makes up for that. Number three, value. The city has massive fixer-uppers from $40,000 all the way up to the luxury properties. So there's a pretty good mix of real estate and plenty of good deals to be found. And number four, growth. While I don't see explosive growth, there seems to be a pretty steady expansion. But I also have to take into consideration where it is geographically located. Kansas City is a large city surrounded by several medium-sized cities. People from Wichita, Omaha, Des Moines, they all come to Kansas City for entertainment or business. I mean, I was here last year to watch FC Milan versus Munich for a friend's birthday. And when the Kansas City Chiefs won the Super Bowl, I was surprised how many people in Omaha were celebrating and wearing the merch. But it all ties back to the fact that all these cities are pretty symbiotic. Even one of the most popular universities is just outside of the city limits, and a lot of those students have to come into Kansas City for a lot of the major entertainment venues. Now, just from checking out the numbers in the comfort of my own office, I've been able to identify 4 places that I want to invest in terms of rental income, and that's really the reason why I came to Kansas City. Without taking a deep dive into the numbers, on the Missouri side, I want to look into Independence, Lee Summit, and RayTown. And on the Kansas side, I want to check out Overland Park, because those are the places that work best for me and my resources. Alright, I'm not gonna lie. The barbecue is something that I was the most excited about throughout this entire trip. This place was recommended to me by the concierge at my hotel. I already placed my order and I'm waiting to receive it, so just kind of sitting around playing the waiting game for right now. So Kansas City has been on my radar for a long time. Even before I moved to Omaha, when I was planning my great escape from Los Angeles, I wanted to set up shop in Kansas City and start my real estate endeavors here. However, with my limited resources, Omaha was the better choice. I do hope that within the next 2 years, I'm able to jump into the Kansas City real estate market, because given the size of this city is completely under the radar. I feel that Kansas City is severely underpriced for the long-term potential that this city clearly possesses. And now for my favorite part, the architecture. There are plenty of museums, stadiums, luxury homes, downtown buildings that would absolutely qualify for amazing architecture. However, I have to go with the original downtown Kansas City, West Bottoms. It's geographically advantageous because it is flat, located where the Missouri and the Kansas River intersect, and the railroad passes right through, making it an economic hat trick. I had more more time to explore Kansas City. I love it here. The real estate is amazing. The food is amazing. There's not much more that you can ask for other than that. However, I have so many more cities that I'm super excited to show you, and those will be coming within the next couple months. Have a good rest of your day. Peace.